One of the first things my friends always ask me when they come to Argentina is, Alex, how does the blue dollar work? What is it? Do I still need to bring cash? Is it absolutely necessary to bring US dollars before I travel to Argentina? I've been here over the last 3 seasons during the winter time. In this video, I'm going to go through what is the blue dollar, how does it work, how did it historically work, and is it still worth bringing cash here in Argentina in 2025? So let's get into it. All right, welcome back to the Lifting Nomad. My name is Alex, and again, in this video, let's talk a little bit about the blue dollar here in Argentina. A little bit of background, this is my 3rd season coming here. I spent almost a year throughout different parts of Argentina, primarily in Buenos Aires. That's where I've been based over the last few winters. So I'd like to think I've got a little bit of an idea of how this works. Wow, this shirt is tight. That would be a medium, as they would call it. Okay, so first of all, let's talk a little bit about what is the blue dollar, how does it work, and just, generally just what is it? So during the last few years, unfortunately, Argentina experienced really bad hyperinflation, more than a lot of other countries in the world, like upwards of thousands of % inflation every single year. And because of that, the official exchange rate compared to like the US dollar, let's say, just went ballistic. Like the rate went from like 20 pesos to $1 back in like 2018 to 2022, it was like 200. And now in 2025, it's like 1,000. We're going to get to that. So essentially, during those periods of hyperinflation, what the locals and the citizens of Argentina decided to do was develop an underground exchange rate, essentially for the Argentine peso. It's not a different currency; it's just a different exchange rate compared to the US dollar. Now let's take a quick trip back just to give you a bit of an idea and a bit of context. In 2022, when I came here at the end of the year, right after the World Cup, the official exchange rate, so this would be if you went to a bank using your ATM or using your credit card and paid for something in Argentinian pesos, let's say $1 would be equivalent to roughly 200 pesos in Argentine pesos. At that exact same time, if you were to go to a cash house, that was at the time the only way to get the blue dollar rate is what it's called. You would have to go to a cambio or a cash house or go through like a WhatsApp group chat to find someone who would come to your house on like a motorbike. They would have pesos, you would trade them in US dollars, and they would give you pesos in exchange. Now, let's say you were going to pay for something, like I said, $1 from the bank. If you went in there, took out $1, it would be 200 pesos. More or less. Now, if you were to take that exact same $1 and go to a cambio, a cash house, or someone to exchange it with on the blue dollar, you would get around 800 Argentine pesos for that $1 at that rate. And keep in mind as well, they actually had different exchange rates depending on the bill. So this would be like the blue strip 100 USD. These are like the highest valued ones. If you were to take, like, let's say I have a 10 here, an American 10. If you were to take this, you would get even like 30%, 40% less. So the 100 USD bills were like the golden currency, and that's how you were getting the best exchange rate. Now, around the same time, the Argentine government came in with the MEP rate, which was essentially a foreign credit card transaction rate for foreigners to pay with things like a MasterCard or a Visa. At the time in 2022, American Express was not supporting this. I believe it came in later into early 2023 is when American Express finally started using the MEP rate. But essentially, you would get kind of somewhere in between the official bank rate and the blue dollar rate for using your MEP for using a foreign credit card. So let's say, just for the sake of argument, it would be 80% as good as the blue dollar. So instead of paying 800 pesos for $1, you would pay maybe 720 pesos for $1. Pretty good. And at the time, the largest denomination that you could get was a 1,000 peso bill. So if you were paying a $50 bill, let's say a 50,000 peso bill, you would need 50 individual 1,000 peso bills. We're gonna get to that as we talk about the future. So MEP comes in roughly 700 pesos for $1. Not bad, but still you're losing a little bit of money. Now, fast forward to today, this is March 2025, and keep in mind these rates fluctuate pretty much daily. So at the time, if you're watching this video, it's likely different than what I'm about to say. But now the government has came in and essentially massively increased the official bank rate. So if I were to take my credit card or go to a bank machine and take out pesos, the official rate as of the publishing of this video is about $1 is equal to 1,000 Argentine pesos. Makes it easy to convert. At the time of this video as well, the MEP is still a thing, and it tends to be better again than the official rate. Not a huge amount, I would say, like maybe let's say 1050 pesos, 1100 pesos, so like 10% better than the official rate. And as of today, the blue dollar is still in effect. If I take that same $100, go to a cambio, it's a lot more official now. You don't have to go to like the cash houses or message someone on WhatsApp. You can go to like Western Union or an exchange place. Honestly, the best rate I've found is something called Express Coin in Plaza Serrano here in Palermo, Soho. If anyone is coming to visit and you're staying in that neighborhood, that's what I'd recommend. It has been the best rate I've found of any of the options. But as of today, $1 is worth about 1,200 pesos at the blue dollar. So still, 1,200 to 1,000, about a 20% difference between doing the official rate and doing the blue dollar. So cash still is more useful. And on top of that, something that's new this year, the first time this season is when I've seen it, a lot of places are actually offering a 10% discount for you to pay in cash. And this includes a lot of different things, from clothing stores to supplement stores to restaurants and bars, even like the ultra high-end places. I went to something called Rambaru. It's a 2-star Michelin restaurant here in Buenos Aires. It is very, very, very expensive. I want to say I paid like 500 Canadian for dinner plus the tasting menu. You were actually able to pay in cash for that for a $500 bill. So that could have saved me, $50, which is a pretty big difference if I had to take advantage of it. Now, thankfully, the 1,000 peso bill is not the largest denomination anymore. They do have 10,000 peso bills as well as 20,000 peso bills, which makes it infinitely easier to carry around more cash. Unfortunately, I just didn't have enough cash on me, so I ended up paying credit card and just kind of eating the cost of that Aramburu dinner. Now, just for the sake of clarity, I think it would be worth it to just imagine a scenario, and I'll keep kind of the calculations on screen here as I go through this. We're going to say 2023, this time March 2023 versus March 2025 when I'm recording this video. Let's say you were here in 2023 and you went to go out to a fancy restaurant, you got a steak. It was 25,000 pesos, 25,000 Argentine pesos for an ojo de bife. You had it a punto, of course, and it would be, the rough calculation for USD official at that time would have been about $125 in 2023 to pay for 25,000 pesos. Now, if you had used the blue dollar that exact same time, it would have cost you right around 30 to 31 US dollars. So you're saving, 4 times the amount essentially to do the blue dollar in cash. Now, fast forward to today, it's 25,000 pesos again. Let's say maybe it's not such a nice steak anymore. It's like a mid-tier kind of place. If you're paying the official rate, it would be about 25 USD because 1,000 pesos, 25,000 steak, 25 USD, maybe a little bit less if you're paying with your credit card, let's say like $20, $22, something like that if on the MEP rate. But if you still were to pay the 10% discount, so that would take it down to 22,500, and then you're also paying on the blue dollar rate on top of that at 1,200 pesos, it's only going to cost you $18.75 for that dinner. So these things do start to add up when you are here for an extended period of time. I would say if you are coming for like just a weekend or just a couple of days, you're probably fine to just pay with credit card for most things and just eat the difference, as it's just a matter of convenience. But if you are here for even like a couple of weeks to an extended period of time for a few months, 100% it is worth it to pay in cash and get the blue dollar. You're going to end up saving like 30% on average overall right now. Obviously, it's not as big as it used to be with 400%, but a 30% cost is still like pretty significant for ultimately the exact same experience. The other thing to keep in mind is there are quite a few places that still like cash is king. For instance, if you're buying like any street vendors or street markets, any like the frutas and verduras, like the fruit and vegetable stores, like a lot of them don't take credit card. It's still only cash only. Again, restaurants giving a discount in cash. It's faster to get a cab in cash. There's just a lot of reasons in Argentina to still have cash, especially like in Buenos Aires, it's not so bad, but if you go to some of the more rural parts of Argentina, it's not always going to be common that they do have a credit card machine. So I do strongly advise keeping some cash on you if you are coming to visit Argentina. So that is essentially the blue dollar in 2025. Hopefully it was useful to understand what's going on down here. It is still a beautiful place and I love this country, and Buenos Aires is still one of my all-time favorite cities, but I think it is still worth mentioning the differences from what it used to be to what it is now. So hopefully this video was useful. Thank you very much for watching. If it was, feel free to check out some of my Argentina videos down below, Ushuaia, as well as just spending a rainy day here in the city of Buenos Aires. As always, my name is Alex. Welcome back to Lifting Nomad. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.